So Spoonbill Pond is obviously part of Big Talbot Island State Park. And at Spoonbill Pond in particular, the North Florida Land Trust had a major hand in protecting 6-acre triangular parcel at the north end of the pond. And NFLT has also had a hand in preserving much of the land elsewhere of Big Talbot Island State Park. It's also important to note that there are many other organizations that are active in the area, including the City of Jacksonville, Timaquan Parks Foundation, and even the National Park Service. Another factor that's really key in providing access to the bird life and general habitat of Spoonbill Pond is that the state of Florida, some years ago, put in the boardwalk that parallels A1A on the west side of the pond, and that provides for amazing access for bikers, pedestrians, as well as naturalists who come to enjoy the bird life and view it at the pond. There's also a couple of bird viewing stations in particular. So Spoonbill Pond is highly unique in a lot of special ways. Number one, it's adjacent to Nassau Sound. It's a somewhat sheltered location. It's tidally influenced, and it has a combination of habitats within a very small area that include obviously open water, water depths that vary in order to accommodate everything from diving ducks and birds that dive in like kingfishers, osprey, eagles, after fish, as well as shorebirds in the shallower areas, an island, and all kinds of trees and shrubs adjacent to it that harbor everything from herons and egrets to birds of prey. So another couple of features about Spoonbill Pond that make it so unique is that there's a mudflat close to the beach on the east side of Spoonbill Pond that is almost always exposed and provides a resting place for shorebirds in particular, but we've seen a lot of other things out there like pelicans resting, cormorants, and so on. In addition, there's this tidal connection that is open not all year, but much of the year. Sometimes it gets plugged in the late spring, early summer, and Spoonbill Pond gets quite nasty in terms of anaerobic lack of oxygen. But it gets reopened. If it has been plugged, it gets reopened in the late summer, early fall with tropical storms or hurricanes or king tides. And this replenishes the oxygen levels in the pond, brings in all kinds of marine organisms, whether they be invertebrates, shrimp, nursery fish, and is really important in providing a food source for the multitude of bird life that frequents the pond. So Spoonbill Pond is extremely unique in the diversity of bird life that frequents it on an annual basis. There have already been over 220 different species of birds that have been reported there through the eBirds app and website by the Cornell Laboratory of Ornithology. And you never know what you're going to see on any given day. So there are core species that you would see almost every day on a year-round basis, including our nation's symbol, the bald eagle, both adults and immatures, Tricolored heron is very common here, as well as the white egrets, both the great and snowy egret. Then you're going to have tropical species that come north to breed in the area. And we have several that are at or near the northern end of their breeding range here on Big Talbot Island State Park. And those would include roseate spoonbills, wood stork, and reddish egret. Then, of course, you have the spring and fall migrants that are dominated on the pond itself by waterfowl and shorebirds, sometimes in extremely large numbers. And many of these birds breed the Arctic tundra and the northern tier of the US and across Canada, and they fly south to Central and South America, many of them, and they stop here on the way to rest and to feed. So it's really important for spring migration that is northward and the fall migration that is southward. Then, of course, you have winter species that spend the entire winter here, and that would include hooded mergansers, possibly some of the shorebirds, and some other waterfowl, blue-winged teal. Just yesterday, there were green-winged teal recorded here. So the key thing is you never know what you're going to find on any given day, and there's always surprises, and that just adds to the uniqueness of the location. So thank you for joining me for this virtual tour of Spoonbill Pond, and I hope that at some point in the future you'll join me for an in-person tour of Spoonbill Pond. Look at nflt.org for the event schedule. Thank you.